This one there from Janet Azuz on the beat of my heart, taking our time to 7 o'clock and time to bring you the morning's major news package.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
In the headlines, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit declares Dominica's implementation of free movement of CARICOM nationals as historic. In news from the region, the BVI Premier says he will not resign over bank controversy. And internationally, Donald Trump expresses disappointment in Russian leader and says he is not done with him as yet. Good morning. Welcome to the DBS Major Morning News for today, Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. We have the details of these and other stories coming up.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brands.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. I am your presenter this morning. My name is Joseph Fadul. First up this morning, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says he has been a long-time advocate of free movement of CARICOM nationals under the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME. Last week, following the conclusion of the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Governments of CARICOM in Montego Bay, Jamaica, CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness, announced that 4 CARICOM member states, including Dominica, will implement full free movement on October 1, 2025. While Dominica's Prime Minister told DBS News, free movement of CARICOM nationals furthers the mandate of regional integration.
I believe CARICOM is only going to make sense to ordinary people when they believe that they can move freely within the countries. I mean, to talk about integration, to talk about travel, and to talk about economic collaboration and not be able to move freely to enjoy each other's country, it's an absurdity. And so we've been pushing for this for the last 20 years, unrelentingly. Of course, there are some issues with regards to contingent rights and so forth. But we believe that this is an oxymoron in many regards because, in our case, any CARICOM national who comes to Dominica, you enjoy the same treatment as if you were Dominican. And so I'm happy that Dominica was able to agree with Barbados, Belize, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines to move ahead these 4 countries with some reciprocity in that regard, to allow for the free movement of all CARICOM nationals, irrespective of who you are. And so I think it's very important for us. I think it was a historic moment, and we look forward to other countries joining in short order.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, while Jamaica's Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness reveals that things will be put in place for Jamaica to implement free movement soon, some member states are still hesitant. Premier of the British Virgin Islands, Dr. Natalio Wheatley, announced that the BVI, an associate member of CARICOM, would not be implementing free movement, explaining that it would not work for small territories like them, as they have a large number of different nationalities already. Prime Minister Skerrit says there is no evidence of mass migration, which has been of concern for some time.
Some people have some concerns about the likelihood of people coming to countries en masse, but there's no evidence of this in any of the categories that we approved. I mean, I don't believe that there's any urge for anybody to move en masse to any one country in the Caribbean. I don't believe so. I think that argument is misplaced.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett has reported the success of several vehicle and house searches during which firearms, amongst other items, have been intercepted by law enforcement. Corbett says in just about 1 month, 7 firearms and 84 rounds of ammunition in addition to vehicles have been seized during the operations.
Now, effective the 6th of June of this year, we have ramped up our police exercises in search of firearms. And you will have seen the officers on the streets doing a lot of VCPs, what we call vehicle checkpoints. And also we've been also doing house searches. This is all in response to the increased use of firearms. And to date, we have seized 7 firearms, 5 by way of VCPs and 2 by way of house searches. So we've conducted almost 40 VCPs from June 6th to the 12th of July, 13 house searches. And as I indicated, we have seized 7 firearms. We've seized 84 rounds of ammunition, 16 motorcycles. We've made 4 arrests. We've also seized $15,000, 3 motor vehicles, and 1.1 kilos of cocaine.
Police Chief Corbett says over 40 firearms have been intercepted by law enforcement so far for the year.
As an aggregate for the year so far, we've seized 49 firearms and 289 rounds of ammunition at the port of Dominica. We have made 2 major seizures that we announced sometime. But interestingly, in those seizures, we seized 3 high-powered AR-15 type rifles. These rifles, I've said before, those are weapons of war, and they do not belong on the streets of Dominica.
Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett. At a press conference yesterday, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit announced a series of decisive and immediate measures to address the recent spike in gun-related crimes in Dominica. These measures include the establishment of a multi-agency firearms task force, the immediate implementation of a confidential hotline for the reporting of illegal firearms or suspicious activity, a limited amnesty for anyone in possession of illegal firearms or ammunition, the installation of surveillance cameras beginning in the capital city, Roseau, increased foot and mobile patrols by police across the country, the engagement of a special prosecutor to deal with all gun-related offenses, and the banning of tint on all rented vehicles island-wide. Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise has stated that continuing professional development is essential for teachers and a fact that must be acknowledged. Dr. Blaise was giving remarks during the closing ceremony of the Dominica Association of Teachers DAT Summer Institute on Friday. The DAT held its annual Summer Institute from June 30 to July 11th at the Convent High School. Sessions included classroom management, music education, the use of technology with AI in the classroom, and leadership, management, and education law. Dr. Blaise encouraged teachers to embrace continuing professional development.
Because if you want to be spot on with global trends in education, with cutting-edge information and knowledge, you need to continuously apprise yourself of developments in education. I always say that the role of teacher is one of facilitation, because the information is all around us and students and the parents have access to it. And therefore your role is one where you work with the students to ensure that They appreciate the grasp knowledge and the concepts. And that means changing a mindset. That means appreciating the role of professional growth and development and always keeping yourself apprised of new information.
Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise. 128 educators participated in the Summer Institute held under the theme Equipping Educators to Lead, Innovate and Inspire, Advancing Inclusive and Sustainable Education in Dominica. This year, the Summer Institute was equipped with local facilitators and accomplishment. Dr. Blaise speaks to sustainability in the partnership between the Dominica Association of Teachers and the Ministry of Education.
This year we're doing it on our own, and that speaks to sustainability. For several decades, we partnered with the Canadian Teachers Federation. Prior to that, we call it OCOT before, and that has been sustained. And now we have built capacity here locally to the extent that we are facilitating our own workshops. And that speaks wonders for sustainability, the partnership between DAT and the Ministry of Education. So I must recognize our facilitators, and from all reports, they did an excellent job. I did suffer wrong, and I couldn't help but engaging myself in one of the sessions because it was really interesting, and the participants were spot on in terms of the feedback provided.
Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise. Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford says the foundation for the changes she wants in the Kalinago territory is already being laid. Kalinago Chief Sanford became the first female Kalinago chief in modern history in July 2024. Chief Sanford tells DBS News, networking with individuals interested in supporting the Kalinago territory has been important during her first year as Kalinago chief.
Within the territory itself, I believe that for me, the most important thing has been being able to network with other organizations, other leaders across the region who would be willing to support some of the initiatives that we have within the territory. As you know, sometimes because of the politics that I've been involved in the past, it poses a little challenge because some of the requests that we make as a council is not often heard. However, if I'm able to network and, meet individuals who are interested in supporting the Kalinago territory, other than just having that focus on central government, then I believe we'll be in a better position to do more for the territory. Generally, in a nutshell, it has been a very good experience. I am building on my skills and my competencies, and just the opportunity to network and create the change that I would really want to see within the territory. I can already see that the foundation is being laid, and to me, that is a great achievement.
The Kalinago chief also said the people of the Kalinago territory have a lot to contribute to Dominica, especially in the area of tourism.
If we realize as a country the value that we offer, not just historically, but as part of the national future in terms of land management or culture-based education, having us more included in some of the economic activities that we have, the Kalinago people can definitely contribute to uplifting the entire country. And we have to realize that the Kalinago people have so much potential, and the territory has so much potential, particularly in the areas of tourism. And so we have to find ways to be able to enhance the experiences that tourists have when they come to the territory, helping us upgrade our infrastructure so that we can offer quality services to people, helping us upgrade our customer service and strengthen our institutions within the territory. All these will definitely contribute to increasing and improving our tourism product here in Dominica.
Kalinago Chief Annette Sanford. The 2025 Flavors of the World Food Festival will return in September. That's according to Father Nigel Karam, Dean of the Roseau Cathedral. The Flavors of the World Food Festival is an event aimed at raising funds for the renovation of the cathedral roof in Roseau.
Very soon we're going to be having our Flavors of the World Food Festival, and that's coming up at the end of September. So we're looking forward to many people coming and participating in that. Last year we had it for the first time, and it was a major success. And many people enjoyed it. They looked, and they're looking forward to it this year. So we're just asking all our brothers and sisters around the island to make sure they get their tickets to come in and sample the wonderful foods that will be there, and at the same time to make a contribution to the continued renovation of the cathedral.
Dean of the Roseau Cathedral, Father Nigel Karam. Over 100 former students of the St. Andrews High School gathered in Dominica over the weekend to celebrate the school's reunion. A grand reunion banquet and award ceremony took place on Saturday at the Intercontinental Resort and Spa in Portsmouth. Former Prime Minister of Dominica, Oliver Serafin, says the St. Andrews High School has a rich history in the evolution of Dominica's educational landscape.
The celebration of a reunion by past students of St. Andrews High School, which took place over the weekend, is a recognition of the epochal and generational change and historical life-changing phase for the children of the northern and eastern districts of Dominica, particularly the Kalinago community. And so in the case of the Wesley High School, the foundation of it was that following the Hurricane David of 1979, that John Gomes, Eardley Carston Bureau Robinson had approached me as the Prime Minister of Dominica at the time to allow them the use of the Londonderry Youth Camp, which my government gave to the Methodist Church for the purpose of introducing a school in the north.
Mr. Serafin says the school provided an opportunity for the people in the north, especially people in the Kalinago territory, to receive a secondary school education.
For generations before, the children of the Kalinago were seen at St. Mary's Academy or Dominica Grammar School or even the Convent High School. In fact, one could count them on one hand to establish that there were only so few who made it to those high schools for the obvious reasons of how can they be relocated and where would they stay. But in the advent of the Wesley High School having changed over to Londonderry as the new high school opportunity for students of the northern and eastern villages, there were many who were able now to go to high school because of the proximity to the villages. But more than that, the first bus service was given by my government to the Kalinago community to ensure that they had a facility to get them to the high school at Londonderry, which is a distance away from their homes. But students emerged out of that: lawyers, doctors, engineers, magistrates, registrars, educators, government leadership. This all transformed the Kalinago community into what it has become today.
Former Prime Minister of Dominica, Oliver Serafin. Let's move to news from the region where BVI Premier Dr. Natalia Whitley has sent a strong message to critics calling for his resignation amid the Bank of Asia controversy, stating that he has done nothing wrong and will not satisfy detractors by resigning from office. Amid public speculation surrounding the collapse of the Bank of Asia, Premier Whitley has called for an internal audit to be conducted to shed more light on the some $5 million of public funds that will likely be lost when the bank finally closes. Initial investigations revealed that the money was deposited in the bank after it was confirmed that the institution was on the brink of failure. At a press conference last week, media owner Cindy Rosen asked the territory's leader whether he'd be willing to step down from his post after the audit is concluded. Premier Whitley firmly stated that he does not plan to resign because of this issue, saying his critics will have to go to the polls to remove him from office. Internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he is disappointed but not done with Vladimir Putin. In an exclusive phone call interview with the BBC, the U.S. president was pressed on whether he trusts the Russian leader and replied, and I quote, "I trust almost nobody," unquote. Trump was speaking hours after he announced plans to send weapons to Ukraine and warned of severe tariffs on Russia if there was no ceasefire deal in 50 days. In the interview from the Oval Office, the president also endorsed NATO, having once described it as obsolete, and affirmed his support for the organization's common defense principle. That's the morning news. The best in sports comes up next on DBS Radio. Stay tuned.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica. And yes, we deliver fast. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. Call us at 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or CAD. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
And good morning. Welcome to the DBS Major Morning Sports. We begin with cricket. Australia have sealed a series win, getting past the West Indies by 176 runs on the third day of the third and final test match between West Indies and Australia at Sabina Park in Jamaica that took place yesterday afternoon. West Indies were bowled out for a mere 27 runs on day 3 of the afternoon's play. Meantime, in the other match, India were bowled out for 121 runs in their lowest total. Australia, were bowled out for 121 runs in their lowest total against West Indies since 1995. Well, starting on day 3 with 99 for 6, Australia were bowled out inside 45 minutes of play. Alzarri Joseph was the peaker for the West Indies bowlers, picking up his second 5-wicket haul in Test cricket. He was supported by Shamar Joseph, who had figures of 4 for 34. Staying with cricket, CEO of Cricket West Indies, Craig Darren said plans are underway towards restoring Jamaica as a mecca for cricket in the Caribbean. Darren was speaking with former West Indies leg spinner Samuel Bardry at the start of the third and final test match between West Indies and Australia in Jamaica. History was made over the weekend as Jamaica became the 8th country in the world to host a day-night match following a $75 million stadium lighting upgrade.
If I was a CEO of a major corporation and somebody told me that half of my raw material, which is what Jamaica is, half of the raw material of the Caribbean in terms of population, in terms of resources, commercial resources, that half of my raw material is going to waste, I should be fired. And so it is not a question of just looking at Jamaica as purely this country has kind of lost its way in West Indies cricket. Didn't even bid to host matches during T20 World Cup last year and so on. It's really important for West Indies cricket that you utilize these resources. Now, we see the track and field program in Jamaica. There's no question in my mind, and it's not just Jamaica, across the Caribbean. We first have to believe and we know that we have the raw material. We have this athletic quotient that is unmatched anywhere in the world, pound for pound, based on a per capita measurement. Jamaica is part of that, and we see how Jamaica performs on the world stage in other sports. And so we need to build back the pipeline in Jamaica. We need to get schoolboy and schoolgirl cricket at the level it used to be. We need to get Jamaican government and Jamaican people behind their team. And that's one of the reasons why we're so keen on pushing for Olympic place. Because we can't go to the Olympics as the West Indies. But if we can make sure that some country from the Caribbean is going to represent the West Indies at the Olympics, we can have the most amazing qualification process. I always tell people when Jamaica plays Trinidad in the Shell Caribbean Cup, the old football tournament, a man and a dog will be in the stadium. Jamaica against Trinidad in a FIFA World Cup qualifier, and the place will be absolutely jam-packed. So it's a matter of making sure that we have the prestigious end result that people are aiming for. That Olympic dream has been the lodestone for attracting athletic talent to Jamaica for track and field. We want to make sure it's also now the lodestone for attracting cricketers into our pipeline.
CEO of Cricket West Indies, Chris Darren. Staying with some cricket news still, this time from the women's end, Cricket West Indies CWI has congratulated West Indies women's captain Hayley Matthews on winning the ICC's Women's Player of the Month award for June 2025. It is the 4th time Matthews has received the prestigious honor after her previous wins in November 2021, October 2023, and April 2024. A statement from the CWI says Matthews has been a cornerstone of West Indies women's cricket since her international debut at the age of 16 in 2014, and her player of the match display in the finals was instrumental in the team's historic 2016 Women's T20 World Cup victory. The statement added that with this latest accolade, Matthew continues to demonstrate her value to West Indies cricket, and her leadership and performance remains crucial as the team builds towards upcoming challenges in 2026 and beyond. With this latest achievement, Matthew is tied with Australia's Ashley Gardner for the most ICC's Women's Player of the Month award, further cementing her status as one of the world's premier all-rounders. The 27-year-old Barbadian was recognized for her exceptional play during the White Ball home series against South Africa in June. Despite the West Indies losing the ODI series 2-1, the opening batter contributed significantly with both bat and ball. On receiving the award, Matthew expressed her gratitude while maintaining focus on the pursuit of the team's success. England have taken a 2-1 lead in their 5-match test series against India. The hosts pulled off a 22-run win on the final day of the third test at Lord's on Monday. Chasing 193 for victory, India fell short and were bowled out for 170 runs. Final scores were England 387 and 192 and India 387 and 170. England captain Ben Stokes was named player of the match.
It felt right in my tummy that Joff was going to do something this morning to break the game open. Gut feel doesn't always work, but those 2 wickets he got this morning, obviously swung the game massively in our favour. Obviously big day today, but I thought the game was on the line, there's not many things that can get you, bowling to win the Test match for your country on day 5. However you wake up in the morning, if that doesn't get you going or, get you up for going out there and putting in for your team, then I don't know what will. Obviously, yesterday, it came down but there was more cricket to be played. Today there wasn't. Game was on the line, and that obviously is a completely different element and aspect to what it was last night. Obviously put a big shift in yesterday. Today was it was going to be my decision when I stopped bowling. As soon as I felt like I was not the person to break this game open or take the wicket, that's when I decided, right, enough's enough. Change the bowlers up.
England captain Ben Stokes. Meantime, England spinner Shoaib Bashir has been ruled out of the remainder of the Test series against India with a broken finger on his left hand. Bashir was injured attempting a catch of his own bowling on day 3 of England's win in the 3rd Test at Lord's. After sitting out much of the remainder of the Test, Bashir returned to bowl on the 5th day despite the issue and took the final wicket as England secured a 22-run victory. England says he will undergo surgery later this week. Bashir has played in all of England's tests since the 4th match of their tour of India in February 2024. Staying with cricket, Zimbabwe opened their T20 International Triangular Series with a loss against South Africa. It was Zimbabwe's 6th successive T20 International defeat to South Africa. South Africa playing their first T20 match this year, won by 5 wickets with 25 balls remaining. Batting first, Zimbabwe posted 141 for 6. Sikandar Raza led the baton with 54 runs. Bowling for South Africa, George Lynn picked up 3 for 10. Chasing 142 for victory, South Africa got off to a rocky start with 38 for 3. They bounced back to pick up the victory, getting 142 for 5. Ruben Herman made 45 and Dewald Brevis 41. Moving to some dominoes news right now. Golden Arms from Soufriere emerged victorious in the finals of the Big W Maxi Stout National Domino League over the weekend. The finals held at the Whitchurch compound in Canefield. Martin Anthony Scotland is the public relations officer of the Dominica National Domino Association.
Golden Arms from Soufriere clinched a title for the first time to become Dominica's National Domino Champions before a massive crowd of domino lovers. The pair of Lester Morrow and Royce, with formidable support from the Soufriers, held the pairs of Paula and Colleen and Lester Guy and Patrick Victor frozen. They came from behind to erase a lead of 276 points in a bizarre streak of dominoes. New block players were left spellbound at 298 points, while Lester Morrow and Royce propelled Golden Arm over the top to reach 3,006. Contributing to this exciting match, Harmony News Blocks, Flex and Oblong scored 440 points, Lester Guy and Patrick Victor 1,405 points, while Paula and Colleen scored 1,055 points. Golden Arm, on the other hand, Morrow and Lazar accumulated 1,025 points, Javiers 9,030 points, while Morrow and Campbell scored 343 points. Golden Arm was presented with a check of $3,500 and a trophy by President Eddie Bopier. Harmony New Block received a check of $1,000 from the Vice President Peter Pemberton as the runner-ups. Meanwhile, in a match for 3rd and 4th place, Brigadier Stars edged out Twilight Bar Brutal Forces by 51 points. Scores: Brutal Forces 2,963, Brigadier Stars 3,012.
And that was Public Relations Officer of the Dominica National Domino Association, Martin Anthony Scotland. Taking us to the end of the DBS Major Morning News and Sports for this morning, Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. We have an update for you at 11 o'clock. And, of course, the next major roundup of news this afternoon at 1.